We live?
Yes, we are live. Hello, everybody.
Yes, yes. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We're so excited to be back to it. The one thing I want to say for all of you guys who are tuning in with us today, if you caught it last week, if you're new, consistency is key. We get so excited to come on these calls and talk to you guys, not only for ourselves and just delivering the information to you guys, but it's just also just boils down to what we're going to talk about today, and it's that excitement and that consistency and preparation. Like literally, just having to be prepared for these calls on Thursdays to set that fire to address where we are with our business, to know that we're coming to this call to promote growth, to promote results, to game plan, to strategize how all of us can really build this thing and grow and be consistent and what it is that we're doing is that consistency in preparation and showing up that ultimately drives us to where it is that we want to go. So I'm super excited. I know Daze is excited as well to be back on this call. Our businesses, all of our businesses are a matter of progress over perfection, right? But the most important thing that we want to drill and get to all of us is if you can just be consistent, if you can just do a little bit here, a little bit there, learn a little bit here, learn a little bit there, but it's on a consistency. It maintains that desire that you're gonna grow. Whatever problems arrive, you're gonna figure it out. We're gonna be solution oriented. Then I guarantee you that just those consistent habits, that consistent focus, that consistent energy, if you can just keep it up and get excited about it, it's going to lead you to a place where you're going to feel unstoppable, right? And that's what this is
Unstoppable.
about. That's what it's about, right? We're all working in
Yes.
progress with our companies, with our businesses, figuring this thing out. How can we be the best? How can we be great? How can we become unstoppable once we figure this thing out and we're getting results? What's going to be that those habits? What's going to be that same energy that's going to allow us to continue learning, continue building, continue growing? So I want to kick the call off like that. I'm going to get into more details of training, but I just wanted to open it up, set us on fire for you guys who are listening. As we always say, make sure you're taking notes, make sure you're writing things down, and most importantly, make sure you're asking questions, leaving comments, because like I always tell my team and everybody that I train and develop, if you're not asking questions, you're probably not working, right? Having a question to ask, having a problem to solve, having something to figure out, I know that you're somebody that's working, that you're somebody that's committed, and that you're somebody that cares about getting to the results that you set out to see. And the best way to do that is to be a thief of knowledge, ask questions, get the answers, implement them right away, and be on your path to results. So I'm gonna open it up with that. I'm gonna let Daza kind of let you guys know the structure of what we're going to be discussing from a training aspect on this call. And then I'm going to come back in and just give you guys some personal development tips and strategies that can help you increase in your business and your sales and marketing. And David's going to talk to you guys about the actual training within your business that we came to discuss today. So I hope everybody's well. I hope you're in a relaxed setting. I hope you're prepared to take notes and just be energized for forward continuous movement and getting to the results
Yes.
that we all set out to see.
Yes, absolutely, Byron. And thank you so much for that introduction. I'm always on fire. I mean, after you go, go into your motivational speech because it's like
It's
I
a
feel
rant. I'm
that,
ranting.
Isn't it? But it's real life. Like I appreciate that so much because a lot of times I think it's just so easy to coast, right? Like we're not really actively being present. And when you're actively being present, the people that are, they get the most out of that. They get the most out
Yes.
of showing up for trainings like this. They get the most out of being intentional in their business. They get the most out of pretty much all experiences. Like, we're not perfect. So sometimes, you might drift off or whatever, especially us moms, we got a lot going on. But it's very, very, very important to just be present, and have that motivation and that hunger for more. One thing that you taught me years ago was to have and maintain a student mentality. So, really, with that being said, going into our call today, we're not going to have any presentation boards. Actually, this call, it's not going to be too long. And we do apologize for coming in a little bit. Later we had some technical difficulties, but we're going to be consistent on these calls. So just make sure you're showing up for yourself. Today, we're going to be talking about social media sales mastery, right? Because a lot of people don't realize that their next client could be sitting in their friends list on Facebook. Out of 3,000 friends, out of 1,000 friends that you have on Facebook, think about if you had a product. You may be even selling e-commerce stores, for instance. This is a real life story, right? I was selling e-commerce stores off my social media platform, utilizing the sales skills that I learned from working alongside my partner Byron. Years ago, right? He built a multi-million dollar AT&T franchise, and we started off. It was like five of us. It was a very, very small team, and it grew tremendously. But the sales skills that I learned, they stuck with me forever, right? So Jones effect, fear of loss, indifference, and sense of urgency. Those are very, very like key factors when it comes down to sales. And I learned how to use that online, right, to sell my e-commerce stores. Now, this can work for any product that you have, because guess what? I've sold clothes, I've done, sold hair bundles, right, online. I had an online boutique. I sold out within like 2 or 3 weeks, right? It's so many different things. So whatever product that you have, it'll work. Okay. So when you're looking at your clientele, when you're looking at starting off from scratch, social media is going to be your go-to if you want to make money online. So reaching out to people that are in your network, that you have like-minded, like say for instance, you're in the same group as someone else. You may be selling hair. You join a hair group. You got like 1,500 women in there. You should be reaching out to those women, dropping some tips and letting them know, not being salesy, but just letting them know the services that you offer. And that's called being indifferent, right? So you don't want to be too salesy. A way to be indifferent is saying, hey, I offer bundles, at this price. I don't know if you may be interested, but I wanted to let you know because we're running a great promotion this week. If you do want to move forward, let's connect via email, or let's connect, via Google Meet. I would love to talk to you. I would love to communicate with you, moving forward. So that's just a little like sneak peek into what's possible when you are reaching out and networking. Another thing to keep in mind is that these people are real human beings behind the computer. Like, don't overcomplicate this. These people are real. So when you're looking at contacting them, go check out if they're into, what type of movies they like. Go check their timeline to see if they have any pets. Go check their timeline to see what industry they're in. Like, start networking and moving around social media as if you were literally actively recruiting business consistently. So I want to answer this question really quickly from AB. So I'm trying to sell my services with Launchcart, but I'm not totally sure how to get enough customers. Should I use social media? Byron, you want to answer that one?
So first, AB, thanks for being brave to ask the question. So the first thing is absolutely yes. We want to use all forms of marketing, but especially social media because it's where the most traffic is that we can reach the fastest, right? So, and we're going to cover some strategies and skills on how to utilize social media. But the other thing is, I'm not totally sure how to get enough customers. And if you can answer this, answer it so we can discuss it live here now. But I also just want you to think about it. At what point in your business did you decide that you're not totally sure how to get enough customers? Because it's okay not to be totally sure how to get enough customers as long as you're continuing to do what you're doing here, invest in the education, ask the questions, figure it out, and crack the code on how to get a floodgate of customers. So as long as you're mentally always staying in a place of, hey, I'm new to this, or I'm growing, or I'm at this point in stage in the business, and now I need to figure out how to drive customer traffic here. I just never want us to look at a place to say, hey, I'm not sure how to get enough customers. I want us to look at it from a perspective of now I have to dive in deep into figuring out how to get a floodgate of customers coming in. And that's just that mentality shift is going to start to lead you down the pathway of solutions on how to drive customers. It's going to lead you to calls like this. It's going to what I do a lot of times because of the industry we're in. I go on YouTube, I watch Gary V, I watch them like we're talking about here, some sales and marketing trainings, right? I want to solve a problem on how to get customers. So I need sales and marketing skills. So I go and I research and I learn from other people who are have a track record of being great at sales or successful driving customers. I'll drop it in the launch cart group. Who's having high performance? Who's had a great month with their sales, their analytics, and their store? Can you guys drop me some tips? So as long as you're on that hunt and you have that right mindset of, hey, I might not be totally sure, I might not be driving the results that I feel like I should be seeing now. But if I'm open to solve that problem and I'm consistent with it, then that's going to be the main key ingredient to solving that problem. I hope that makes sense. And then AB had another question. After I set up my portfolio website, now I just need enough customers to quit my 9 to 5. Consistency, right? When is it enough customers to create your 9 to 5, right? So when we need a lot, right? But we want to get in the habit of making things happen and knowing that, hey, all right, this path, this education starting here. I'm getting this information. Like David just gave you some strategies you can implement literally right now if you haven't done it already. We talk about utilizing Chat GPT, right? And it goes back to asking questions. You can utilize Chat GPT to help you come up with a script. If you're not comfortable with talking to people in the DM, Chat GPT can show you how to do that. We train and we talk about that.
Yes.
But it's really just being always ignorance on fire, going in those DMs and saying, hey, if I didn't contact or make communication with at least 25 to 50 people yesterday, whether it was through the DM, whether it was through me calling friends, family, relatives, whether it was me asking somebody to put the word out about my store, whether it was me making sure that I posted my store on all of my social media platforms, whether I ran an ad on my store. It's all about the tangible actions that you can do to increase those odds. So if I'm in your position right now with the question you have, I'm ready to quit my 9 to 5, I'm ready to make sales, then I would set a goal to make sure that I'm making a minimum of 50 to 100 new contacts each day or every other day within my business and be accountable for that.
Yes.
I guarantee you, if you can look up and for a week straight, 5 days straight, you like, man, I done made 500 contacts through just going to 500 different people inboxes talking to my friends, family, relatives, versus you didn't do that last week. I guarantee you're going to start to see your clear pathway
Results.
to success and keeping up those habits and taking those actions and measuring your contact because we don't want to look at, oh, I need this amount of customers, I need this amount of money. What's the progress? What's the steps? I was always taught when I was doing sales, and I'll wrap it up, but I was always taught when I was running my sales in the field, I didn't chase customers. I didn't chase the deals, right? I chased how many customers could I pitch first because I knew if I pitched 50 customers, I would have a less chance of closing three versus if I pitched 150 customers. My odds increased, right? Versus if I pitched 200 customers. So I was always taught to focus on engagements, right? Which we hear that word a lot. How many people can I engage with? Because it's going to give me a start to learn, right? then I can take, oh, this person told me no this way. This person told me no that way. This person told me no that way. I can get better. So now I may not have to engage as many people as much to close deals, but the first thing that I know I can always do for free with my own actions to drive is just make those contacts, make those engagements, and be the person who's doing it the most consistently. And I guarantee you that your store is going to be on its pathway to closing sales consistently. Your volume is going to increase, and you're going to see not in necessarily the dollars, but you're going to see based on your actions consistently, the contacts you're making. You're going to be able to say, hey, if I keep this up for 60 days, for sure I'll be able to leave my 9 to 5. But the key going to be maintaining that consistency and doing it for that 60 days, 90 days, being committed to see those results. So I hope that helps. AB and
Yes.
anybody else out there listening, and that's good, man. You're asking these questions because we gotta ask the questions to get the answers because we don't always know. I didn't have these answers until I got into the entry level sales and marketing program. I didn't know anything about Jones effect or indifference or fear of loss or having it maintaining a positive attitude, always having a high sense of urgency, taking control, how to read, relax, relate. I didn't know none of this stuff until I got into the entry level sales and marketing program. And they trained and developed me on these skills that have been tested, that have been proven. And now my commitment to learning and understanding these skills put me in a position to be able to close sales and close deals for the company. So sometimes it's just information, education, and communication and developing those skills and being ignorance on fire, jumping in those 50 people DMs, jumping in those 100 people DMs. It's all the difference that we need to make to start to see increase and growth within our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the key right there. Like Byron said, the context. I saw this from Grant Cardone. He said context equals contracts.
Right,
And
exactly.
the R stands for relationship building.
Yep, and
So
like we
that's
always say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. What did your and I'm gonna share this quote with you guys who's tuned in. I actually posted it on Facebook, and it kind of ties into this. I said that I encourage you to go back and look at your game tape from the day, right? Be honest about what you've seen, make the adjustments mentally, and get ready to get back to it armored with those adjustments. Men lie, women lie, number don't. If you can be honest and you can look back on yesterday when you talk about driving sales, what did you do to drive sales yesterday? Assess it with yourself. Hey, I did this, and then ask yourself, can I increase doing that tomorrow? Can I do more of that? Can I put systems and team help in place to can I recruit two, three, four, or five other people to do it for me? Did I ask anybody to
exactly.
share about my store? Did I ask anybody to share to check out my content? Did I ask anybody to share with their friends, family, they're following, check out my products? And if you can increase those numbers consistently daily, and what I like to say, you're the biggest walking, talking billboard for your brand, and you're believing in it and you're asking people to put the word out, hey, you on your way. So I constantly tell
Absolutely.
that to myself. I'm talking to myself when I talk to you guys, but this is the thing that I've learned will work to drive your results because you're like my high school teacher always told me the only excuse for failure is lack of effort. The only excuse for failure is lack of effort. So watch that game tape consistently, reflect on your performance, reflect on how many contacts you're making, reflect on are you just letting problems sit or are you asking for help? Are you getting solutions? Because those things are going to be the difference makers for your business moving forward, evolving and growing, and you knowing that based on actions that you're taking.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Looking at tracking what you're doing, being intentional. Being intentional. It's super important, right? Because we're on social media. It's 3.8 billion people on social media. A lot of people don't even know that they have a brand, right? But they have a brand because if you're online and you're posting and you're engaging, whatever you're consistently doing, that's your brand. So I would recommend that you consistently focus on educating your target audience. everybody that's on your social media page may not be your target audience. So it's going to be very hard for them to find you unless you start to speak their language. So you start to speak their language by understanding, first of all, what their pain point is. So once you understand what their pain point is and you understand how you can get them to their desired result, then you can make that connection in your post. So, AB, I would say to you, looking at your entire layout, look at the problem you solve, okay? And look at the people that you help. So start talking to them through your posts. 80% of your posts should be educational posts, letting them know what you offer, why you offer it, and how it solves their problem. If you have literally 10 of those posts, right, on a consistent daily basis, this is just giving an example, 10 of those posts on a consistent daily basis, people are going to start to attract to you. If you're using like hashtags, you can get picked up by people you don't even know. If you run ads, that would be crazy, right? Because now you're going to really be able to focus on just targeting those people. And that becomes a funnel and a pipeline to get new leads. So if you want to do it organic, I would go into niche based like groups, networking groups on Facebook, LinkedIn. I would start networking with those people. Some people even allow you to pay for posts to advertise. So depending on what niche you're in, I would start there. So you can start generating some leads. Like Byron said, getting those 100 contacts. If you do that consistently, you're going to have so many people flooding you and responding back to you. It's going to be crazy, but you just got to be consistent with it. And that's something that is super important when it comes down to using social media as a business.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I
So
hope that helped anybody out there. Like, let's get it. And AB, we're rooting for you. This is a team, man. This is what these calls are about. Let's turn it up.
yeah,
Yeah, start after the show. Should I post a certain amount per day as well? I ain't gonna lie, AB. I post till Facebook sometimes shut me down. But once they once they shut you down and say stop, you posting too much, then now you'll start to learn your range on what you could do daily. And so what I mean by that is I would go and send it. I would copy and paste and send my message in the DMs, and I'll count. By the time you get up to about, from my experience, by the time I get up to about that 40, 50 mark in a day, then they start saying you couldn't send no more. And then by the next day, I'll be able to start resending again. As far as the people you send it to, if they don't tell you, hey man, stop sending me this, I'm not interested, it means they have some kind of interest. They're looking at it, they're seeing it, because they will tell you stop sending. You say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I really just wanted to share with you something that can help. I won't send it again. If you know somebody that can benefit from this, please pass it forward." And it's literally just a
yes,
copy and paste. So now you're weeding out the people who you don't need to send to, and now you're able to curate and develop, that relationship. Because think about it, a number one art that I've noticed that's lost in business is customer service, right? We just want to ask somebody for their money, for their business. We don't even say, "Hey, how you doing? How your day going?" Like Dave said, going through their page, identifying if they got pets. Hey, man, I see you into golden retrievers. I got that kind of dog as well. I also like some other things about what I see on your page. I don't know if you check me out, but I got this to offer. If anybody that might be interested in this, or let me know. And a lot of people will be willing to help you and support you and stand by you and promote your business if you just make that proper introduction. But even more so, because people reward effort, right? So if they see you hustling, you working, man, this brother always posting about his business. He's always consistent. He's always putting out some positive information online. And then now they see you in your inbox. A lot of people will support you just because of your consistency. Because when we look at the biggest companies, and of course they got big budgets behind us, and that's why we got to work even more harder. But when you look at consistent companies, the McDonald's, all these large companies, they're everywhere. They're running ads so that they're everywhere. They're in front of us. They're coming in my email. I'm getting SMS out the blue. I'm getting commercial ads when I'm just going up my feed. I'm getting commercials. The commercials them hitting me in the face. When I'm watching YouTube, the ads hitting me in the face. Everything I'm on, they paying and they got ads running. So when we talk about making contacts, how can you create that similar effect for free, right? First, and that's what we're talking about, the organic, going into groups, hustling. You know what I'm saying? Making those contacts, and then when you do as much as you can do for free, then that's going to turn get you some revenue, and then you take that revenue and you learn how to put it into some ads. But doing it free is going to teach you exactly how you need to structure and target your ads. So it's nothing wrong with it. It's never a loss. It's always a learning lesson. We just got to be willing to put in that consistent work and make those contacts and hustle our business to succeed consistently daily, and be accountable for that.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So we hope this helped you guys, AB, and anybody else watching. Um, there's some powerful nuggets being dropped today. So I want you guys to really just take a moment after this and just write down your main key takeaways. Comment them below. If you're watching this afterwards, please comment hashtag replay. We will see you guys next week as well. And I want to share on the screen our launch links link. Okay, so this link is a link to all of our resources. We do have our university for elite entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, that is open, where we do train and develop and help you guys start selling digital products online. So definitely connect with us there. Also, too, we want to also to send you guys to the sales mastery course that Byron curated. He took his time out and created a course. Right now he's actually offering it for free, breaking down his exact strategies on how he actually built his 7-figure businesses through sales and marketing. So if you guys have any questions about any of those products or services that we offer, feel free to DM us, and we appreciate you guys so much for your time, and look forward to talking to you guys soon. And AB, keep us posted on, your process, because we're
Yes.
genuinely here to help you and
Tap
support
in with us, AB. Anybody that's
you. Yeah,
working and hustling and asking questions like you, like tap into the community. We welcome that. Get in the community. Ask those questions. If you see me, if you see Dave, it's okay to drop a DM. Hey man, I was on the call. Thanks for the information. I'm working this strategy because yeah, we see you guys one time a week on Thursdays, but we working and we building and we're implementing and we're hustling and we're community building and team building with like-minded entrepreneurs every day. But we're not coming if somebody's not ready to work within a team and drive results, then they probably won't find us. But if you're somebody out there and you're ready to work and you're looking for a community so you can have that accountability buddy, I love to be accountability buddy for anybody because I would like somebody to be that for me. For somebody to say, hey man, I see what you're doing. Like here's a tip on how you can increase your performance. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it don't, right? So tap in with us. Come join the community. Tap in with us. Keep us up to date because it's nothing. Teamwork makes the dream work, and that's what Launch Card has provided. That's what these calls are about, right? Is the team being involved, learning together, building together, and grow together. But like I used to always tell my guys, if you're not participating and you kind of standoffish and separating you for your team from the team, you're not going to be as strong as the people who are invested, involved, in building together because you're going to miss a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like coming in and you don't even know what's going on because you haven't been in the know. You haven't been in the group. You haven't been active. You haven't been communicating. You haven't been saying, hey, I'm going over here with, yeah, they talk a good game, but we invite you guys to come see our work ethic. We invite you guys to come see our process. We invite you guys to come see a lot more than what we can give you on, this 30-minute call. And that's what the university is about, free trial. That's what the sales mastery training. It is literally absolutely free, but it's also a chance for you guys to see, hey, I hear what this guy say on the calls. Like, check out my sales training. If it's free, if it makes sense, if it helps you, I know it's gonna help you because it comes from years and years of proven systems and strategies that you can take implementing your business, and I guarantee you're gonna have results if you're consistent. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna leave you guys with that. I hope everybody is well. Being consistent, life happens, right? Push through. Always be solution oriented. As I always say, we don't dwell, we excel. Right? We don't dwell, we excel. So whatever we can spend time dwelling about, we can spend that same time taking action on and solving. So I leave you with that. And then also, like I started off earlier and talked about, just look at your game tape every night. Just don't be comfortable going to bed not knowing how your day went. Did things go how you wanted to go? Did you do the things you said you were gonna do? What did you learn today? What was positive today? Take notes on it and arm yourself and equip yourself going into the next day for the best results. And it keeps you in a position where you're not getting caught off guard. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I hope it finds you well. Make sure you guys are staying in tune with the Launch Card group. All of these trainings that Greg and the
Yeah.
Launch Card team is offering, phenomenal trainings. Like I said, they did the competition not too long ago. That participation is very important, and even more important than participation is anticipation. Are you anticipating success? Like, 'cause I'm anticipating wealth. I'm anticipating digital domination 2024, and that anticipation is what drives me daily. I can't wait to really come here talking to you guys. We're going up with you, right? We're going through the process, and we just mentioned the university at launch. But you're gonna look up in 6 months from now, a year from now, because we're being driven off that anticipation, where the university is going to be huge, and we're going to be like, hey, yeah, remember that what we were talking about. So that's what time it is, and I hope you guys are looking and carrying your business in the same way. It might be here today, but what are you going to do consistently for it to be here tomorrow, right? So I'll leave you on that, and we hope everybody enjoy their day and get the most out of it.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.